Hey everyone, it's your buddy Crypto Profit back with another video, and today we're going to be taking a quick look at the last 24 hours across the market. Down 6.16% in the last 24 hours. We're continuing to see prices drop. Bitcoin down to 32.5K, Ethereum below 2K, Cardano at $1.30. Dogecoin went down 17.38%, and I think it's going to continue to drop. We'll talk about Dogecoin here in a second, but we also have Polkadot at 10% of a decrease, and many coins struggling, and we're going to continue to see that. Like I said, the month of June is going to be a rough one, and that's why I continued to give you guys low price predictions for June. At the very best, we're going to stabilize and go on a sideways trend. We may definitely see decreases across the board for the month of June. If we take a look at Theta specifically, this is one that we've been watching a lot on the channel. We actually saw it go down to $7.06, and now we're seeing, if we take a look at the last month, we're still up 3%. So it's a coin that has definitely done a decent job at recovering from that $6 price point. But we have to remember Theta Mainnet 3.0 is coming, and we're still seeing, a $7.54 price point. A lot of people were expecting, if we look at the last year, we saw $15.90 right before that mainnet launch that we actually saw get delayed. A lot of people were expecting $16, $17, $18, $20 on Theta by the end of June. And I am one of those people that is definitely going to be against that price point. I think we're not going to be seeing anywhere near that. We may see a nice jump to about $12 at the best, or maybe even $10. But realistically, we're not going to see $15, $16, $17, $18, $20 price point that we may have once predicted back in May or realistically April. So jumping farther into this, I do want to take more looks at the current prices. If we take a look at Bitcoin specifically, we're seeing it down to $32,520 right now. We actually saw it dip all the way down to 31.7, and I do think we're going to continue to see that dip. A lot of people are trying to buy this dip, as many people don't know exactly how far we're going to dip down. And I will say, it's going to be hard to predict that exactly, because most of this is due to manipulation FUD across the market. And because of that, we're going to have this accumulation period where really nobody knows exactly when we're going to boost back up, how low we're going to go. People can say all the TA they want to say, or do all the TA they want to do. Realistically, I think we're going to drop, 27, 25K possibly, maybe even 22K. I don't think we're going to drop below 20K. I think we're going to stabilize above 20K, but it's going to be a wild ride, and I think a lot of people are going to be accumulating during these price points and going to make insane profits when we do see that next bull market. So if you guys want to stay tuned with up-to-date information on altcoins as well as Bitcoin and Ethereum, make sure to quickly subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and like the video. I do want to talk about a few different articles as well before we deep dive into a little bit more into the markets, because obviously Cardano continuing to drop now at $1.29. We see Chainlink at $18.63. Jumping into the first one, it talks about $1 billion in liquidations as crypto markets lose $120 billion in a day. The crypto market has faced another volatile trading day, and the total liquidations have jumped to roughly $1 billion. The total liquidations in the cryptocurrency market reaching that $1 billion as all assets have dumped in a matter of hours. Following new FUD from China, Bitcoin slumped to a 2-week low just over 32,000, ETH below 2,000, and so on. So, like I said, more China FUD. What do you know? And that's exactly what we're going to talk about right here. Is China's the third largest state-run bank, the Agriculture Bank of China, said it banned its customers from interacting with cryptocurrencies. After the somewhat positive weekend when BTC recovered some losses and traded at $36,000, the situation reversed quite rapidly. Really, as had, so many different occasions, we've had this China FUD come out after a good recovery and just dump it straight back down. And I think that's going to continue to happen during this accumulation phase. And that's why, really why some people are staying out of the crypto markets right now, or they're just holding. One thing to do is really, if you have the income, if you have the supply of money or fiat, jumping in with really, daily investments is not something you may want to do, but dollar cost averaging in, maybe once a week or twice a week, and splitting that up, whatever you want to do, but dollar cost averaging during the bear market or during this, these massive dips is definitely one way to take advantage of these dips and make sure you're not buying all green candles the next time crypto comes around and, the hype is, bought back up. So I do want to say, guys, with most of the altcoins performing in a similar manner, the cumulative market cap of all digital assets lost over $120 billion in hours. So we're continuing to see just quite the amount of liquidations, quite the amount of dumps, and quite the amount of FUD and obviously, like I said, manipulation taking place And it's just crazy to see, this kind of stuff happen, just because a lot of people aren't investing, in these futures that I've always told you guys, don't invest into the futures. Just because there's so much high risk and high reward involved in that. And if you're probably new to the market, which a lot of people are during this year, and that's perfectly fine, futures are probably not really the way for you to go unless you're an experienced or expert trader, and even then, there's a lot of risk involved. So jumping into this article here, we see Russian billionaire slams central bank's crypto policy. Says even El Salvador realizes the need for Bitcoin. So this was featured in Bitcoin News, and it talks about it here. So Russian billionaire wants the Bank of Russia, the country's central bank, to embrace cryptocurrency, citing El Salvador's Bitcoin law as an example. El Salvador recently passed a bill making Bitcoin legal tender in the country, and everybody wants their country to follow, it seems. Obviously, if you're an enthusiast when it comes to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, you're going to want that law to be passed, or really as a legal tender would be ideal for a lot of countries as well. Jumping into the next article, this one talks about Steve Cohen. I'm doing a deep dive into crypto. I'm fully converted. I'm not missing this. So billionaire investor, CEO of Point72 Asset Management, Steve Cohen, says he is taking a deep dive into cryptocurrency, emphasizing that he is fully converted. The billionaire said, I'm not going to miss this. I already feel like I missed the first part of it. And this is definitely a thing a lot of people are feeling. That idea of missing that first part of cryptocurrency, missing the first, or second or third bull market is really going to be a bummer. I think we're going to continue to see many, many more bull markets to come. However, a lot of people are, missing out on these early opportunities. Taking a look at this one, this is definitely what has something to do with that, 17.38% decrease on Dogecoin. If we take a look at Dogecoin right now, which a lot of people actually will be happy about this. Actually now, like I said, I did think it would continue to go down. It looks like it is 19.28% of a decrease in the last 24 hours. So Doge branded as Ponzi scheme by Federal Reserve Bank president. So Dogecoin branded as that Ponzi by the president of the Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis. Doge maintains its over $30 billion market capitalization despite the bearish market. If we jump into Dogecoin here, we can actually see that market has dipped down even farther since that article was released, now at $28.8 billion, and I think it's going to continue to drop. This is one of those coins that doesn't have enough utility or use cases at the moment to really withstand. I think, Dogecoin is probably going to have some new functionality built in, or, maybe some better tokenomics, really. Well, you can't really make better tokenomics with it, but realistically, Dogecoin is one of those coins that needs some help in some way before we can see a massive increase yet again. And I think Elon Musk can only do so much. He hasn't tweeted about it recently, I don't believe, but we'll see what happens with Dogecoin. Definitely an interesting coin to really continue to take a look at. If we take a look at the last month, down about 45% as well. So like I said, this is definitely not good for Dogecoin holders. Doge branded as Ponzi. So jumping into the next one, we also see Warren Buffett says Berkshire Hathaway is seeing very substantial inflation and raising prices. So we're continuing to see, obviously, that inflation take place, and it's definitely a good thing for crypto. It's a bad thing for literally everybody, getting these inflated prices. However, like I said, crypto, dropping down during this inflation price, it just makes perfect sense to really dollar cost average in on these, dips and bearish markets. So I do want to take a look at another quick post. Talks about Ethereum London upgrade to be implemented on testnet this week. So this is definitely a big deal. Talking about the London update to be implemented on that testnet. It was found that the crypto asset virtual currency Ethereum is really to be implemented around July, will be implemented on the testnet of the London upgrade around June 24th. So a lot of people are excited about that London upgrade to the testnet to really see what Ethereum has in hold, or coming up. And I think realistically, if we jump back to the prices right now, guys, a lot of people are a little bit worried about these prices continuing to drop. And I did say it before, I'll say it again. I think these prices are going to continue to drop. The one thing is, a lot of people are going to continue to take their funds out. I'll say the only risk with taking your funds out right now is missing that, return back to the top. And those can happen within hours. So you go to sleep one night at, maybe 27K Bitcoin. The next morning you wake up at 32. You may think it will dip back down. Well, no reason to jump back in at 32K. That's when you took out, right? So then you miss it at 36K, 40K, 45K, and so on and so forth. And eventually you FOMO back in. So that's the one risk with taking out, obviously, for a loss. One of those things as well is just talking about really Bitcoin is one of those, I guess cryptocurrency as a whole is one of those very volatile markets where you have to be a little bit careful with what you're doing. If you aren't able to look at the market every couple of hours, holding for that long-term price point is actually one of the easier and safer ways to go about it. So I just want to give you guys a quick update on the crypto market. Obviously, a lot of great information and news out there today. We talked about the China FUD. We talked really about the Dogecoin issue. We talked about the $1 billion in liquidations, why this market is continuing to drop. The month of June just being a terrible month for crypto altogether. I think we're going to see this terrible month continue and lead on to July specifically. Maybe by the end of July, we'll get out of this or recover from this. But like I said, nobody can really do the correct TA or technical analysis that's going to give you an exact time or date that we are going to see the market recover. So I think it could take 3 to 7 months realistically. I think by the end of the year we will be back in that bull market. It's just a matter of time, and I think a lot of people are going to be unfortunate and miss out because they've actually taken their money out of crypto. Holding, like I said, is the easiest way to gain money over time. It comes down to, if you're an expert trader, sure, take your money out at the I guess before these dips, maybe at 37, 38K, you were able to take it out, or even higher. But, realistically, you're going to actually end up FOMOing back in if you are not an experienced trader. You're going to try to, buy a little bit too much off of Bitcoin, and unfortunately, you're going to end up being the loser on that. So I do want to really forewarn people on that. I want to also say, guys, I'm not a financial advisor, so always do your own research before investing, as there is a very volatile market going on right now. So just definitely invest what you can only afford to lose. That's definitely another thing I would like to say. So thank you guys again for tuning in. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Make sure to quickly subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and like the video.